Alright, whenever you're ready.
Yo, what's going down, everybody? It's a special emergency Super Bowl edition of the NFO podcast on February 2nd, 2014. I'm here with my boy NUPE Fiasco and Nelson Rios. What's going down, everybody?
What's up? What's up?
Chilling.
We got some, I know we don't cover Nintendo a lot on this podcast, but when we do, it's usually not very good news, and unfortunately, it's not very good news in regards to Nintendo. On Saturday, Iwata, who is one of the heads of Nintendo, has stated that due to their slumping Wii U sales and loss of confidence by the shareholders, as well as their stock going down significantly, they're still worth a lot of money, but it has dropped a lot. They're now open to merging with another company, as well as acquiring some new IPs and smaller companies to bolster their roster, so to speak. So, given this news, what do you think about this, Newt, man? You look kind of pleased. You look pleased as punch over there. We can't hear you.
Where's your mic at, brother?
Better get your Mr. Kennedy on, man. We can't hear you, man.
Oh my god.
While we wait for Newt to get his microphone situation sorted out, Nelson, man, what do you think about this?
It's a long time coming because they wasn't doing good in the console department after the Wii. So I hear that they're looking for new partners to help them get back up on their feet and new ideas. But that's like a shot straight down from how much they pummeled in sales and in general. It's just there you go.
Yes, we can hear you.
Sorry, that's Skype. Oh, go ahead, Nelson.
I'm done.
I was saying that this is a chance for either Sony or Microsoft to clean up and basically destroy the competition. Those are the only two companies I can think of. Could you imagine Sony or either Microsoft having access to all of the wonderful Nintendo glory?
See, but I don't think Sony's in a financial place to buy Nintendo, because even though their gaming division is doing well, the company as a whole is not, considering that their financials got downgraded to junk status by Moody's, which is one of the largest financial credit analyzers in the entire world. And even though there's several levels to junk status that you have to go through before there's no coming back, when Moody's does it, the whole world has to sit up and they're a huge financial risk. We're going to be very hesitant at lending them money to do anything major with, or if we do lend you money, we want to stake in what you're trying to do, or we're going to lend you this money at such a high rate, it's going to deeply cut into your profits when you do repay it. So I can see Microsoft acquiring Nintendo. I can see them merging with several other smaller companies like Sega Sammy, or or even a company like Google, who has been looking to get into the console game, acquiring them, or even Apple. Apple could be one of the people that they could possibly merge with. So there's a lot of possibilities out there in regards to this, and it's an exciting time. It's not the death. This could be like
the rebirth.
A true rebirth for Nintendo. Even though it's bad news, it could have a very, very positive outcome.
Yeah.
Very positive. And you got some more to say, man? Go ahead.
No,
Go ahead. Get it off your chest, man.
Could you imagine going to the arcade or the gaming market and seeing all those Nintendo classics downloadable? Oh, or and that Apple? They might
iPhone
do it.
DS.
Yeah, for real. Apple might do it because I know they've been looking at it, and they have a great reputation as far as apps. Their hardware is known for quality and high behind prices, but quality. And I don't know, man. This is just crazy.
Yeah.
But whoever gets Nintendo, if you ever see this podcast, go back and play the NES, the SNES, and the N64 and the GameCube, and extract from that, what Nintendo is all about, man, and bring back some of these killer franchises, rebirth them, man, and come up with some new stuff. But whoever gets Nintendo, man, that's guaranteed money.
Also, look at it like this. Apple is one of the few American companies that actually has traction in Japan. So, it's a trusted name within Japan. Like, Microsoft is sort of tolerated because he has Windows and everything, and all computers run on Windows pretty much. But Apple is like one of the few American companies that actually does well in Japan. So you got to keep that in mind as well when we're talking about acquisitions or mergers in regards to Nintendo. Would they want to merge with Apple because it's a trusted name in Japan and they won't have to, like, it would make Apple even more like just going crazy, man. Like, iDevices with Nintendo apps on them, Nintendo games. Yeah, wow. It would be crazy. It would be crazy. Like, we got another piece of news. It's kind of disheartening. It's been going on for, like, I was talking to one of our listeners and a good friend of ours, Fierce. His name is Jeff, and he said, he asked me one day, just out of the blue, "Hey, Dave, have you been getting sick while playing Dead Rising 3? And I was like, "No, why?" He's like, "Well, I've just started getting sick while playing this game." And I was like, "Interesting, what's going on?" And he's like, "Oh, I've been getting dizzy, I've been having sweats, my hands have been shaking." And then he's like, it only happens when he's been playing the game for like an hour or more. So I looked this up, and this is not like some small phenomena. This has been going on for like a little bit, and there's videos over YouTube about it, there's posts on gaming forums about it, and it's not like the game has any like significant motion blur or like fast moving segments to where that would happen. So I've gotta, and it's not like it's a lot of flashing lights or anything. So it's kind of weird to hear about this happening. Hasn't happened to me, but I don't play that game. I don't play Dead Rising 3 for that long of a stretch. It's usually about a game I spend maybe half hour, 40 minutes on before I turn it off. Like complete a section of a chapter. But if this is more widespread than I think it is, Capcom might have a serious problem on their hands. NUPE, man, what do you think about this?
Capcom, you make me sick. I don't know, like, well, they want. I don't think they have a problem on their hands because all those games have disclaimers where it say may cause sickness, dizziness, and seizures and all that stuff. But that's very weird that a game like this in particular that isn't, because I played Dead Rising 2. Now, I didn't see any flashing lights or anything crazy like that, but that's crazy that a game would just randomly make you sick, especially if you're not someone who normally gets sick while playing video games. I don't know.
Nelson, what do you think about this? Like, do you think this is like something that the game specifically does, or
honestly,
because it's a head scratcher.
I can't blame it on the game. I'm gonna tell you why, because I had the game for some time now. I lent it out to my friend, so and I usually play the game for more than about 4 hours at a time. I don't usually play for an hour because I usually get into the game and we're playing co-op. You can even ask Shinwar. Shinwar's been playing it a lot lately, and he had no problems. What I think it is, like, this is just my opinion, okay? I'm just thinking that out of some random ass miss, perhaps, these gamers are either not eating, they're just sitting there without, like, hydrating themselves all the time, or they're purposely straining their eyes, and then they're gonna feel like their nose, like they have nauseous, queasy problems, or their hands are out, my hands are shaking or something like that. Me personally, when I play games, I wear the Gunnar Optics. Shuts all that down. No headaches, nothing with my eyesight, straight good. So I'm just assuming that it's just a gamer.
But speaking of the Gunnar Optics, this dude that I've been watching, he's on Broken Games HD. He has the Broken Optics glasses to reduce glare and everything, and he still gets sick from it. So it's kind of weird.
It might be the person.
It doesn't happen with any other game.
But the thing is, like, I don't get like that with Dead Rising 3. But now let me ask you this though: has there been any clarification that it's only happened within the brand new update or the brand new DLC that has came out, or just in general as a whole?
This just started happening within the last 2 weeks, I guess.
So after the update, then.
Yeah, it's weird because it doesn't happen with any other game. Like, I've sat down and played Rise like straight through. Like the other day I played it straight through. It's like a 5-6 hour game if you go straight through. And that didn't happen with me, but as I said, I don't play Dead Rising 3 in large chunks like that, so I've yet to experience that. So maybe I should give it a try and see what's going on.
I'm definitely going to ask my friend to play the game tonight, because he still has my copy, the Okami, which streams on the PlayStation 4 side of things for us. I'm going to ask him to just play the game for like 2 hours straight. And see if he has
tell him
any
play it on
problems.
the stream and see what goes on. Because this guy, I'm watching his stream right now, he literally got sick on his stream, which is crazy.
I would definitely like to see my friend get sick, because this will be a prime example for someone who's like a personal trainer. And if he ends up getting sick from playing the fucking game, then there's definitely something wrong that doesn't make any sense at all. Like, I can't fathom that. It's ridiculous to me. It sounds ridiculous.
Well, I hope it's not really, really widespread, but if it is, man, Capcom, you got some serious explaining to do, and it might cost you a lot of money, brother.
What was y'all trying to do? Y'all trying to hypnotize us to make us buy some more of your games, and it didn't work?
Yo, they got like subliminal
messages, yo.
Like subliminal Ultra Street Fighter messages. Ultra Street Fighter.
Yeah, it's flashing Ultra Street Fighter every millisecond.
That's OD.
Hey.
That's OD.
Anybody else got any other topics they want to share with us on this special emergency podcast?
Yes. It's absolutely nothing to do with video games. It has something to do with my life. I'll be starting my own entertainment company. As I'm not leaving NFO or anything like that. It's just for me doing my own music thing. So be on the lookout for more updates with that. And I should have a website hopefully sometime this summer when I get all together. And I am going to have a gaming section where you can go on YouTube to watch the NFO videos, and I'll also be posting it to my website as well. So that'll be in conjunction with, so to speak. So thank you for all the support. Subscribe to the YouTube page, NUPE1949. I got more stuff coming.
Aspiring artist. This is the man that you want to see right here, NUPE149. All right, Nelson, man. Anything else?
I'm trying to think off the top of my head. I've been streaming a lot more lately. I'm just trying to get a bunch more of the games that I used to have before back into my possession, such as like PlayStation 3 titles, PlayStation 1, 2, GameCube, Nintendo Wii, and some other old school games, and start streaming a little bit more frequently of not just fighters, because I noticed the majority of the people who watch our stream or YouTube channel expect that we only do fighting games, and that's not necessarily true. We do other genres. We basically cover all of them, and I just want everyone to feel that they can come to our channel or come to our stream and watch whatever of a variety of gaming. So stay tuned for that update. Hopefully by the next 2 weeks I should have everything under control with that. And just donate to help us out for the stream, to get better equipment, to upgrade the quality, to help us get more games to view for you guys and review, and possibly go to events that you may want us to cover. That's it.
Alright, that's what it's up. Oh, I woke up this morning. Well, I shouldn't say this morning. I woke up this afternoon because I woke up at like 12 o'clock, and I saw some good news in my email. So 10 content ID claims down to 7. Thank you, Konami. You're good people.
Damn.
So
Damn.
so seven. I'm not gonna shout out any names of those 7 content ID claims that I'm currently fighting, but Konami, you're a good company, and thank you for releasing those videos of mine. So one last thing before we go, Super Bowl, who you got?
Oh my god. I can't even bet because my team is not there. So I'm kind
Mine
of
isn't either.
disappointed at that. But if I had to pick a team, I would have to go with Denver Broncos, just straight up because of the quarterback experience that Peyton Manning has.
NUPE, man, who you got, brother?
I also go with the Broncos because Peyton deserves it, man. He's a miracle. You know, he had an injury and people thought he would never be good again. They thought he'd never be great again. And this guy came back and tore through people this season. And he truly deserves it because he's a better quarterback than his brother. So he needs to catch up.
You know what? I'm gonna pick Peyton Manning and the Denver Broncos too, but for the simple fact that Peyton Manning is at the Super Bowl, you know what that means next year?
What does that mean?
It means Eli Manning's going to the Super Bowl next year. Because if you look at it, every year that Peyton Manning is going to the Super Bowl, the next year Eli Manning is going to the Super Bowl. So 2007 Colts went, 2008 the Giants went, 2011 the Colts went, 2012 the Giants went. So now we've got 2014, the Broncos led by Peyton Manning at the Super Bowl. So 2015, Eli Manning and the Giants. Just logical progression there, people. Just saying.
Wow.
Also, let's bring this up. Might as well because I don't want to end this podcast like so abruptly in so short of time. How about anything in like besides football? Anything new in wrestling that people don't know about? Like the recent absence of CM Punk leaving, the hype that Batista is over getting, how Roman Reigns is becoming an upcoming superstar now. They've been all this pop. You know.
Well, with CM Punk, there's the growing. Well, it's circulating among writers and everything that this may be a work, and what that means is that it may be a.
That's Britney Spears?
Nah, it's the dude. It's one of the songs from the DC versus Marvel versus Capcom Mugen thing, and I thought it was so dope. I made it my ringtone. But
Oh my god.
it's the Wonder Woman song, yo. That shit is dope.
You don't even want to know what my text message is.
Dude, my text message is now the Black Dynamite thing that goes Dynamite, Dynamite.
Alright, look.
Continue with your CM.
Oh, this dude got Forza screeching noises already.
That wasn't
That wasn't
didn't he just say
Forza.
Ultra? That
What
was
was
Ultra from Killer Instinct.
That was the Ultra.
Oh, okay.
How was that tire
Oh.
screeching?
It sounded like it. Alright, but as for CM Punk, a lot of people are now starting to feel like it's a storyline and that it's a work, so let's keep a closer eye on that because him walking out may be part of a bigger storyline. I still think it's legit. As far as Batista, I just wish he would go away. I really do.
Hey,
Have-
he needs money. That's probably what it is.
But he already
Go
made a
co-star in
movie.
Vin Diesel movie, man, and say like 12 lines. He'll get like 100 G's or so.
But he already
Stand
made a
around looking
movie
tough.
though. He's good on money. Did that? What is that?
Now,
The Guardian of the Galaxies movie, the one that has Rocket Raccoon in it.
Yeah, man, that's coming out. So it's not like this dude is broke, living on the streets and shit like Jake the Snake Roberts.
Dang, yo.
the only thing that honestly right now that make me watch the WWE is The Rock or Brock Lesnar. That's it. And Dolph Ziggler. Everybody else I could care less about. Daniel Bryan is hilarious when he says yes, but other than that, Dude, they're just so all over the place with storylines that we don't care about, man. It's just a snooze fest, and I really don't miss it at all.
You heard what happened to
also,
Dolph Ziggler, right? That he's not supposed to be able to wrestle because a Ryback gave him a severe concussion.
yeah, but he
Oh,
came
wow.
back at the Royal Rumble though, so he's back.
Yeah, but did you
He's been-
see? Did you see at the Royal Rumble though when he kept stumbling and he had to sit literally near the turnbuckle to catch his breath? Like he couldn't maintain the fight at all.
Mm.
I don't know, but he was like just in a very good match with Antonio Cesaro this past Friday on SmackDown, so that may have been part of the act, so to speak. But he had a good match with Antonio Cesaro this past Friday, so I think he's been medically cleared to wrestle as far as the concussion. But well, another thing that's going on with the WWE is that apparently they've signed Sting finally, and it looks like he may be the one to wrestle the old man Undertaker at WrestleMania.
What?
And
Oh my god.
honestly, I'm tired of seeing the Undertaker come in for like 2 months to build a WrestleMania match, then have like a match at WrestleMania, then do the next Raw, then go away. I'm tired of that.
Wait,
man. I really am.
wait. You said Sting as in the icon Sting, as in face paint Sting, as in woo Sting, as in
as
like
in-
Luger's best friend Sting.
As a 55-year-old Sting, yes.
I love Sting. He's always been my favorite wrestler, but come on, man. WWE, how low will you go?
I
That's what
can't.
I'm saying.
I can't imagine Sting coming back like that. I just no.
See, the only reason Sting would have to sign with the WWE is like they have access to pretty much his entire career up until 2001 when WCW closed and he went to wrestle in WWA and then TNA wrestling. So, only reason why he would come to the WWE is to do the whole Hall of Fame thing and get his DVD and do some.
Get in the next game.
Yeah, get in the next WWE 2K15 game or possibly become downloadable content in WWE 2K14 because his moveset is in the game as one of the preset movesets. So that's the only reason why I can see him signing with them is for that one last big payday because like they'll hype him and he'll have all this merch sales because people like Sting is still a known commodity.
Yeah, Sting is. I don't think Sting ever truly got the push he deserved throughout his entire career. They've always pushed Flair and Hogan and other people in front of him, but Sting has just always just been left field, man. I always like that guy.
I like Sting too, but the dude is 55 years old and the Undertaker is like 48 now, and I really don't want to see that match. I really don't. I don't want to see the Undertaker period at WrestleMania unless it's for a Hall of Fame ceremony. That's it.
What you got on Roman Reigns?
I think he needs by SummerSlam they'll have him split from the Shield because they are positioning him to be that next breakout guy and the next superstar, and he does have the athletic talent to definitely do that because his moves do excite the crowd. And even though he's a heel, like you see like people getting strongly behind Roman Reigns even though he doesn't say much, but when he does it's kind of like, yeah, we're badass and we're gonna come and kick the shit out of you. And it's like this interview is over. And he has that cool heel vibe going to him. So I definitely like what they're doing to Roman Reigns, even though he is The Rock's cousin. They're not bringing that up, which is good. I appreciate that. So I definitely see him being the next breakout star if they handle him right.
Yeah, WWE, y'all got a bad habit of having these great superstars and just doing stupid stuff with them. I mean, stupid. Like, why doesn't Daniel Bryan have a title? Seriously. Why doesn't Daniel Bryan have a title? I mean, you let guys come out of nowhere and get title shots and get all this hype, and you have some of the hottest superstars, and that's why people quit and they leave. You know what I mean? There's a shelf life for a wrestler. You got to understand there's a lot of mental stress, there's a ton of physical stress, and they're not going to last forever. They're only human. And I mean, listen to the WWE universe. You know what we really want. I don't know if you're holding out trying to milk us for cash, but it's like I just like the old days when it was Rock, Austin, Triple H, DX. They pumped us full of what we love, and we kept coming back every week like drooling zombies because we couldn't leave it alone. Now it's like, who is this guy? Who, you got these random people wrestling, boring matches. Y'all are getting booed now. I've never heard the WWE get booed, but last year y'all got booed a lot in the different arenas. Y'all need to look at the talent that you have and utilize them properly, man. I mean, because you have it, but just do it.
I think I know I'm gonna catch a lot of flack for saying this, but I think Triple H needs to be fired from his position as Vice President of Talent Relations, and I think Stephanie McMahon needs to be fired as Vice President of Creative Writing, because it's like, okay, you notice who the top people are right now in the WWE are essentially close friends of Triple H. Like, look who's getting the pushes. You got the old age outlaws. You got Billy Gunn and Road Dogg Jesse James. Admittedly, I liked them when they were in the Attitude Era in the 90s, but come on, these dudes are like 45 years old now, still doing that same shtick, and now they got the tag titles. And then you got Randy Orton. Like, how many times do we need to see Randy Orton versus John Cena? Truthfully. Like, how many times do we need to see Randy Orton versus Batista, for that matter? We've seen it like 50 million times over the last 10 years. We don't need to see that at WrestleMania and like the pay-per-views throughout the year. We don't need to see that. Randy Orton is at least a competent heel, and you can play off of that, but have him feud with other people. Like, extend the feud with him and Daniel Bryan. When Roman Reigns eventually breaks away from the Shield, have him feud with Roman Reigns and help build him up, since a loss or two there wouldn't hurt Randy Orton. Or there's so many different ways. Like, also have John Cena build up some people, because his spot is pretty much secure. They're not going to have him just suddenly go away no matter what the fans boo or cheer. Like, when you go to a WWE event, it's more boos than cheers for John Cena, even though that doesn't come across on the television because they mix it out with the sound mixer. But that's the fact of the matter. They need to start getting these younger guys ready, man, because you're gonna have a 40-year-old John Cena, a 40-year-old Randy Orton, 50-year-old Batista still rocking
70.
And it's like, and then you're gonna it's just ridiculous.
And y'all have like things like, you have Brock Lesnar. Why can't the big people go against the big people? I would love to see a Brock versus Big E Langston rivalry. Who wouldn't want to see that? I would. When Dolph gets healthy, let's have Dolph and Daniel Bryan. I mean, there's just so many choices. I don't know what's going on with this whole retro, digging into the old school crates. I don't know what y'all are doing. And I love you old school. I know you need your money too, and you probably miss your glory days. But I mean, let the young guys shine, man. I mean, there's just so many different storylines that would make so much sense, and y'all could do it, but you're just choosing not to. You're just shoveling us what you think we want, and we don't want it. So I don't know.
How about that random wild card wrestler that got featured in the Royal Rumble? I think it's like Alexander something.
Yeah, he's from NXT, and they just put him and his valet up this past Friday, and he has a good look to him. He has a lot of athleticism, so I can see him being like a good mid-card wrestler, like IC or US champion. I could see that. I could see him feuding with something like a Big E Langston, since they both have like bodybuilder and like freakishly, they're compact but they're freakishly large guys. So I can see that happening with him. And Another thing, since we're on wrestling, we got to talk about is TNA wrestling. And a guy that I follow on Twitter and I talk to pretty regularly signed with them recently, MVP. But it's kind of a head scratcher because MVP, like, he was wrestling in Japan for a good while, and I've seen the vast majority of his matches in Japan. And having talked with them a couple of times, he's expressed interest in wrestling Samoa Joe and Austin Aries.
Those guys can wrestle too, man.
They can, but the problem is that it's like, even after wrestling in New Japan Pro Wrestling for the better part of the last 18 months, I think that's a huge step back for him, wrestling in TNA wrestling. Because these guys can barely draw a crowd on the road. Like, you see the pictures and the reports online. These guys are barely drawing like 100, 300, 500 people at house shows and arenas that hold 3,000 people. And it's like, really? You want to consider yourselves the number 2 promotion in the country, but you can't fill a 2,000 seat arena. And that's just insane.
Yeah, I mean, but wrestling's not what it used to be. Yeah, I mean, it's across the board. Like, I like a lot of the people in TNA better than a lot of the people in the WWE, and that's just honest. They have great matches, and they go all out, and they have young, fresh talent. They have interesting storylines, but I mean, they just don't have the name behind them.
See, the problem with TNA is how it's marketed and who's running the show. And the owner of the company, well, not the owner, but the person that's running the show is Dixie Carter. And she used to have her own marketing firm, but yet, when TNA comes to your town, like, they were just here. Like, I'll give you a comparison. TNA Wrestling was just here not too long ago. I'd say about in November, I believe. No, not November. It was this past summer, last year. They were here, and you didn't know about the show until like a few days before the show, and they literally had people at the box office pulling people off the streets trying to offer them free tickets because the Roanoke Civic Center holds about 8,000 people in a wrestling configuration. And I actually went to the show because I got free tickets from a friend who works at the Roanoke box office. And it was the saddest sight ever because in an 8,000 seat arena, there were maybe 300 people there. And by comparison, the WWE came this past January, and the place was packed. It was sold out months in advance. Like, you had local radio spots, you saw signs all over town, you had, like, the GameStops were doing WWE 2K14 tournaments for free tickets. So that's the difference between the promotion that TNA does and the WWE does in terms of getting the word out about their product. And when you have a person who used to be the head of their own marketing firm, which pretty much means they deal strictly in advertising and getting the word out about products, it makes you wonder where the disconnect is, you know?
That's a shame. Who's little child?
That's my cousins running around the house. I apologize for that.
That's a shame, man. And you're right, man. You gotta promote. Me, you know, being a former partner in the record label, promotion was one of the major contributing factors to success and or failure. You gotta promote, man. I don't know what to tell them, man. Wrestling is just, I don't know. It's like just something to do now for me, anyway.
Like, I'll admit, like, I don't watch wrestling like I used to. Like, on Mondays, I remember when I was in my 20s and teens, man, like, every Monday was like, you couldn't, like, especially in college, you couldn't wait to get in front of that television set, watch wrestling. Like, even in the mid to early 2000s, like, Monday, like, you knew wrestling was on. Now it's just like,
Yeah.
like, if if I can't find anything else better on TV, I guess I'll watch wrestling. Or since WWE is 3 hours long, I'll like switch back and forth to wrestling. Like I'll watch How I Met Your Mother, then I'll watch wrestling, or I'll catch a bit of a basketball game and I'll turn back to wrestling. But it's not. It's just overexposure, man. There's no like, okay, I can't wait to see wrestling. It's just okay, wrestling's always on and I can watch it whenever now. So they need to scale that back too. They really do.
That's insane.
Nelson, you've been quiet over there. What's your opinion on all this stuff, man?
Well, wrestling right now, it's okay because it's not like how it was back then from the Attitude Era. That was like the best moments of wrestling, period. Now it's just you have like all these random ass superstars that no one gives two shits about. But when we do like the wrestlers such as, let's say, Roman Reigns, Daniel Bryan, Dolph Ziggler, and some other superstars, they don't get the push. They don't get to wrestle these highlighted ass matches. As what Dave said, like, they don't put Brock Lesnar up against nobody, really. Like, okay, the Big Show match that happened at the Royal Rumble, that was a piece of shit because Brock Lesnar just destroyed him with a chair the entire time. And, like, the Big Show got, like, one good hit on him, and that was it. That was weak. Like, you gotta make it interesting all the time. Like, put, like, Brock Lesnar versus Ryback. Or,
right.
Put him against Big E Langston, or put
exactly.
You know, give Daniel Bryan, as you said, a title shot of any sort because he had two opportunities to win the title and he got it stripped away from him twice. So there's something not right how they want to keep giving him all this exposure of wrestling, all these matches, and then not give him an actual title to keep it going, because that's what the fans apparently want. That whole booing shit at the Royal Rumble because he couldn't fight. Like, come on. To me, that's just retarded. I think wrestling just needs to step up their game, and they're kind of doing that now with the whole WWE network that's featuring after or the day of WrestleMania. So you can watch everything back from WCW, WWF, WWE, and also from ECW. So that's going to be good to watch. And some people may prefer that.
ECW.
Some people may prefer that over the new stuff. And I don't blame them because there's a lot of great historical matches that has happened in the past. Like, I can't wait to get the WWE Network so I can watch Kurt Angle matches, watch Chris Benoit matches, Eddie Guerrero matches. I can't wait for that. So, right now wrestling is like, you know, occupy my Monday for 3 hours and go to bed.
See, I like in this era of wrestling to like the early 90s where it was in that like little downturn where it was like, okay, it's wrestling. That pre-ECW, pre-Attitude, pre-Monday Night War era that wrestling was in from like 1990 to 1995, I guess, before everything just shot up. That's where I feel like wrestling is right now. Is like it's waiting for something big to happen.
It's not gonna happen. And you know why it's not gonna happen? Because the WWE has no competition.
Yeah, like that.
That's exactly
why. Like
when WCW was around, that was some of the. I didn't know what to do. I would watch the first hour of Nitro, then I'd be flipping back and forth for the rest of the night because I wanted to see everything. I wanted to see everything because both companies had great rosters, great storylines. WCW started doing stupid stuff at the end, like having 10,000 people in the NWO.
Yep.
But I mean, everybody. It was like they were pulling people off the street. But I think that's where it suffered, man. Is that they almost fell. They didn't stay consistent with the storyline, and that's the thing. Same thing with the video game world, or Madden, I'd rather say. When you don't have competition, there's no one to push you to be better because you know no matter what, I'm your only choice. So, if I feel like giving you the good stuff, here you go. If I don't, what you gonna do about it? You can't do anything about it.
Yeah, and it's not like TNA Wrestling is the competition for WWE as much as I used to like TNA wrestling. I'm gonna be real here. You can't consider TNA wrestling to be competition for the WWE in any shape or form. If you can't fill a 2,000 seat arena, you can't consider yourself competition to the WWE, no matter how much you claim you are, no matter how much you want it to be, no matter how much the hardcore of the hardcore fans want it. It's simply not reality when you're not doing the necessary things to build yourself up properly to get to that at least alternative to the WWE, not even alternative. I said that wrong. When you're not even in addition to the WWE, you can't even consider yourself competition. Because that's what WCW started out as. They started out as, okay, you like wrestling? Well, we recognize that the WWF is the largest wrestling promotion in the world at the time, but we want you to watch our stuff too. So we're going to offer you an in addition to the WWF, since you like wrestling so much. And that being in addition to eventually got them to the status where they could compete with the WWE. So that's what any aspiring wrestling company needs to do, is that they need to grow themselves slowly and be in an addition to first before they can consider themselves competition. So that's all I gotta say about wrestling, because the more I talk about it, the angrier I get.
Yeah.
Alright, let me bring up something else real quickly, going back into gaming now. Killer Instinct. I know we're kind of talking about a lot of this game as of recently, but it's still fairly new. They've been having some major bug issues after the release of Spinal, and there's been several complaints of the game still having its, pre-patch problems from prior to the other update. So now they implemented this new system called rage quitting. So let's say, for an example, I'm playing and I fight someone, he gets mad salty or whatever, and he just ups and disconnects his box and whatnot. The game instantly knows he disconnect, and you're supposed to get sent to jail for 24 hours. And you can't fight in regular rank no more. You only fight with people that's also been sent to jail. So the game has been bugged out to the point where, let's say, if the person does rage quit, you and him will be going to jail, not just him.
Wow.
So everyone has been getting caught. That's why a lot of people don't play rank right now, because there's a lot of fucking bullshit. Also, there's been a lot more.
Like people rage quit just to troll you and put you in jail.
Yeah, a lot of people's been doing that. Also, there's been a couple people who's been lag switching intentionally so they can freeze your game in mid-match and force you to start your console over again, and you'll be in jail right after that, because that counts as a disconnect apparently. There's also been some major sound issues where if you do the Ultra with so much stuff on the screen, you'll get like this noise. It's ridiculous. And then other stuff that they was talking about, how like you're not able to find a match for a certain amount of time because they got it so you get paired up with people 2 ranks higher than you or 2 ranks lower than you to compensate, so you won't be fighting like a level 1 when you're like level 50. Like, they don't want that to happen. But due to that, people can't fight anyone on an easier scale anymore. You're sitting there struggling, especially if you're a level 40, which is the max level. You can't fight a level 1. Like, you will sit there probably for like half an hour, 45 minutes on the search until you could get one random person. So
it sounds like they need to refine the search parameters and go back to the drawing board and rethink the whole rage quit. It's a noble idea, but in practice they need to go and redo the parameters, I guess, of the whole rage quit system, from what it sounds like.
Yeah, and again, stuff like this is one of the reasons why I didn't invest in the next gen console out the gate. It's not that it's not worth it, because I don't have it, so I'm not going to say, but a lot of this stuff is going to get worked out, and as the consoles continue to sell, more people will get on the games, and matches and connections and things like that will have to get better, or people are going to jump ship. With that being said, they're gonna invest a lot in the Killer Instinct. I see they're gonna push it, kind of like Capcom's been pushing Street Fighter. I see a lot going into this. They're doing a good job. They're being very ambitious because they're giving us a full-blown fighting game, pushing the muscle of this machine. So of course there's gonna be issues with it. But I believe probably closer to this summer and this fall, when more people start buying consoles, it'll be way better by then.
Well,
who are you waving at?
I'm not waving. I'm just cutting.
To,
I'm just cutting random shit. Just bored. Just like like oh my god.
I think that's the note that we need to exit on. So before we go, does any final thoughts?
Continue to subscribe. Continue to watch our videos.
Alright.
Yeah, what he said.
Well, this is D-Mizzle for Rizzle, NUPE, and Nelson Rios with the NFO podcast.
Wait. We forgot to give a shout out to Alex. Completely forgot.
Oh yeah, Alex, man. Be safe out there. Come home soon. We got the countdown going, yo. So, like, 3 more months, brother. 3 more
Send
months.
me your Xbox One since you're not using it.
Yo, he is tight. Oh my god. He can only play his PlayStation 4, but even so, he needs like the actual update from like a LAN connection just to be able to play Blu-ray movies on his PS4. He can't even do that.
Well, at least we know he's coming home with an Xbox One and a PlayStation 4, yo. So he can hit the ground running. So
yeah.
Oh my god. Alright.
Yeah, man. Be safe out there, bro.
Alright. We're ending this because we're getting bored talking about yak. So, alright. This is the end of that. I will be streaming an hour after the Super Bowl has started. So, stay tuned for that.